Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel or website. Reach out to me directly, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a model made from 1997 to 2010. This is the Lange Sohne Cabaret in platinum. Now, the example you see here was retailed back in 2001, just to give you a sense of where it sits in that timeline of 97 to 2010. It is a difficult watch to describe because the shape is unconventional. The distance from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock without the crown is 25.5 millimeters. The thickness is a svelte 9 millimeters, and from lug to lug, that is tip to tip, it is 42.9 millimeters with a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now, I know you're probably thinking, that doesn't sound like a very big watch, and in truth, it's pretty close in size to a Reverso Grand tie, but as with most form watches, once it's on the wrist, it does read as a larger piece. Now, this is considered to be a unisex option. It succeeded the original Lange Sohne non-round watch, which was the Arcade, and the Cabaret is adequate, I would say, as a man's watch or a woman's watch. There's really no way to specify. It's more responsive to the shape of your wrist, and I think this is where having a flat wrist with more of an oval than a round profile really comes into play, because you can see this watch is pushing the limits of my wrist. Even though it's less than 43 millimeters lug to lug, I wouldn't necessarily wear it on a wrist smaller than 14 centimeters in circumference, even though at face value, lug to lug, it's more compact than a 36 millimeter Datejust. It doesn't wear that way. The timepiece has a substantial strap. As you can see, alligator leather on the top, matte finish. It has a profile of folded leather, a little bit of bolstering to add some volume, a monotone stitch, and on the underside you can see that this is a brand new Lange Sohne factory strap with calfskin in black on the bottom. It also includes a substantial upgrade, as it includes a Lange factory clasp in matching platinum. Most Lange watches feature pin buckles, so to get the clasp, not only does it add heft and value to the watch, but it protects against accidentally dropping your watch while you are putting it on or removing it. The case is nuanced, and I have to say, it's a welcome reprieve from the standard and somewhat monotonously iterated Lange case shape. Here we still have satin finish in the mid-case rather than the universal polish used by most Lange case bands. We also have lugs that are stepped out, but they're not the characteristic stepped out Lange 1 style lugs. These are a little bit more sculptural and better integrated to the case itself. There's a vaulted profile to the instepped bezel, and you can see that the sapphire is vaulted, the border of the sapphire is vaulted, the bezel around that is both angled and vaulted, curved from end to end, and then the case underpinning the bezel is also vaulted or arced from side to side. There's a pusher adjuster for the date, and as with the Lange 1 Darth Vader, you have a combination of a black galvanized dial with black date discs with white on black printing, so it is a very cool, potent, punchy look. Again, don't read this as a 25.5 millimeter watch. It looks bigger, it wears bigger, it has bigger personality. Now, the dial features a lovely rectilinear contrast, as you've got the rectangles for the date, you've got a rectangle border outboard forming the bezel, you've got two concentric rectangles forming the hour track, but then you've got a circular seconds track down at the base of the dial, and it's inset, and that's where the contrast comes between the rectilinear elements and the curved elements. You'll also note that the hands are gorgeous, polished white gold pinched alpha with triangular outriggers. It's truly a gorgeous tandem when you take the Roman numerals and the diamond-shaped indices into account. The dial is made of sterling silver. It's later galvanized black. It is simply punchy. Turn it all over, and we shouldn't be surprised that Lange of Saxony creates movements fit to the case. And this is the caliber L9311. Manual wind, 42-hour power reserve, beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. I don't have much of a nail right now, but I pull the crown out. You can see it also features hacking seconds. It pivots on 30 joules, and like a chronometer, it's adjusted in 5 positions. Like all Lange movements, this one is beautifully finished with glasuta stripes across its German silver bridges and plates. You can see the bridges feature glasuta stripes. The plates at the bottom actually feature engine turning or perlage. There is mirrored anglage on the edge of the bridges, so you get that high standard of finish. You get a freehand engraved balance cock, carved with a burin and a hammer, the way you expect on any Lange watch. We have black polish, the locating pegs that help to place the bridges, the case clamp screws. You can also see black polish the cover of the escape wheel as well as the regulator assembly, the swan's neck mechanism. We also have fired blue screws, and then we have pivot jewels set in golden chaton fixed by screws, another nod to the pocket watch era of construction in Glashütte or East Germany. All of this is 30 meters water resistant, so admittedly it's not a sports watch, but it is a surprisingly punchy timepiece. Again, judge this one by its size, will you? I think not. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.